Hi, I'm Lucy McDonald and I'm a physiotherapist with a huge amount of experience with amateur and professional runners. And I'm going to give you my top tips for marathon running. So, starting at the top, I would say interval training is far more important than distance. A lot of people get very obsessed with the number of miles they have to do every weekend and the number of miles they have to do before they run the race. It's far more efficient to train with intervals than it is just plodding along for miles and miles on end. The reason it's more efficient is that by peaking your heart rate and dropping your heart rate, peaking and dropping your heart rate, you put far more strain on your heart and lungs than if you just raise your heart rate and maintain at a higher heart rate. Obviously, therefore, if you do have heart problems, it's not for you. But for everyone else, a nice guideline is to do a 2-minute run and then a 1-minute walk, a 2-minute run and a 1-minute walk, and continue to do that. And if you're new to intervals, then perhaps start with about a sort of 20-30 minutes interval session, just so that you can test how tough that is on your body. And I'm presuming that you've got a decent level of fitness at this stage. So if you're watching this and you're just starting out on your running journey, then do the intervals the other way around. Do 1 minute at your running rate and 2 minutes walking. And then when you're ready, you can switch the intervals round. Ultimately, the way to know whether you're getting it right is to think about your breathing rate. You want to be increasing your breathing rate for about 2 minutes and then dropping your breathing rate down to the point that you're able to have a normal conversation. So if you're not able to have a normal conversation, spend a little bit longer walking until you get your breath back and then go back up again. So, number 2. Let's go with stretching. So it's a really common question that I often get asked. Stretching should never ever be done before or during exercise, running or anything else for that matter. Stretching should only be done at the end of your training session. The reason being is that if you hold your muscle in a long, elongated position for a long period of time, it slows the muscle down, it calms it down and puts it back into its resting state, which is the complete opposite of what you want to do when you're just about to go for a run. So what it can do, it's thought that not only does it give you no advantage to your training session, but it might also increase your chance of injury in that training session. So do all your static stretching at the end of your running. The most important thing to do before is warming up, so that's number 3. And warming up can very simply be done by starting with a nice walk and then increasing the speed of that walk, taking it into a jog and then taking it into the speed that you normally do your running. You want to be making sure that you're increasing your whole body temperature as well as taking your joints and your muscles through the ranges of motion that you're going to need for your actual training session. Number 4, and actually this should really be number 1 because I think it is the most important one, and that's rest and recovery. Rest and recovery needs to be the absolute bedrock of your training program. It's the number 1 reason that people end up coming to see me and my colleagues with injuries. It needs to be worked into your program so that you're sleeping enough, you're resting enough, and you're eating all the right foods and enabling your body to really recover nicely. If your body feels tired, achy, if you've got a cold, you really shouldn't be running. Take that time that you were going to use for doing your run, go and lie down on bed, listen to some relaxing music or whatever it is you do to relax, and chill. So finally, my last one is to look at your body's biomechanics. There's a couple of little tips that I can give you to test to see if your body's working at its absolute best. The first one is to look at the position of your back and your pelvis, and this can help not only back pain but knee pain, both treating it and preventing it. So if you stand side on in the mirror and you look at the position of your pelvis, and you're going to do something that is a little bit odd. You're going to tuck your bottom in as far as you possibly can, and then you're going to stick your bottom out as far as you can. And then you're going to go 50% of the way between the two. And that's the position that you should be running in. It's also the position that you should be doing everything else in your life, sitting, standing, walking, whatever. But, as we're talking about running, it's the position that you should be running in. So the pelvis should be in that nice neutral position, which gives you a nice little low back curve. And then, when you're running long distance, you should be slightly tipped forwards, not from your upper back, not from your spine, otherwise you'll get back and neck and shoulder pain, but from the hip joints, so the ball and socket joints of your hips. So you maintain that nice pelvic neutral and you tip forwards. Now, the great thing is that exercise, in a bit more detail, and a whole load of other really useful running advice and exercises are on our website, and they are completely free to use. So all you need to do is to put in your email address. Because we're chartered physios, even if we didn't have any ethics, we wouldn't be able to sell or use your email address for any other purposes, but we will send you an email just to get feedback on the videos. So we've got 87 videos there that you can access. We've got loads of free advice on running training, and you can always drop us an email. We are here to support you, so do drop us an email about your injury, and we can, even if you're nowhere near London, which is where we're based, we can send you advice on how to run the marathon injury-free.
Hi there, I'm Debbie Coughlin, sports nutritionist from Performance Sport and Nutrition, and I'm going to share with you today my 3 top tips for marathon nutrition. So here we go. Number 1, prepare. That means that every day, do the best you can to get the most out of your nutrition. So every meal, think about carbohydrate, think about protein, and think about lots of fruit and veg. They're full of vitamins and minerals. Where most people tend to fall down a little bit is they don't have enough carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is the main fuel for our muscles when we're running. So make sure that every meal has got some carbohydrate in it. So for example, oats or potatoes or pasta or bread, those kind of things. So get your basics right, and that's going to help fuel your training. Number 2, make a plan. So just as you are training your muscles to be able to run further, you need to make a plan and train your body to be able to utilise carbohydrate. Now, carbohydrate is the fuel that fuels us while we're running. So you need to build up using carbohydrate as you increase your miles. So make a plan. So for example, on race day, are you going to use the nutrition that's on the course, or are you going to be self-sufficient? And whatever you decide, practice it. So for example, maybe you're going to carry some gels, or you're going to have a little belt with some gels and some jelly babies or some bars. Or if you're going to use what's on the course, find out what's going to be on the course and use that in your training. As you build up distance, build up your carbohydrate intake, because that's what's going to be your primary fuel source. So make a plan. The 3rd tip comes to race day, and that is stick to the plan. So it's race day, you're so excited, you wouldn't dream of wearing a new pair of trainers on race day, so don't do something different with nutrition. Now when you go to the expo, there's going to be so many new products to try. If you want to try them, buy some, but save them for another event. Don't do anything different on race day. Equally, if you're feeling great, you've got to the start line, you do the first few miles and you're feeling fantastic, don't forget to follow your normal nutrition plan. Don't suddenly feel euphoric and think, oh, I feel great, I don't need to eat or drink. Follow your plan. And of course, don't suddenly think more is better. Oh, it's race day, so I'm going to have an extra gel. No. Everything you do in training, you execute on race day. So my 3 top tips: prepare, make a plan, and stick to the plan. Enjoy your training, and good luck with the marathon.
Hi, my name is Paul. I'm here today to give you some top tips on marathon training. Number 1, the weather. please try and train in all types of weather, whether it be rain, snow, sleet, ice. Just get to love any types of weather. Really, really helps your confidence, pushes everything forward, and really, really do try. Number 2, read everything you can about running, whether it's about nutrition, different kind of trail races, London marathons, any type of information about science about running, about the body, the mind, the physicality of it all. Every kind of book you can get hold of, read other people's stories, just really inspire yourself and just keep reading day in, day out. Number 3, health. Pretty much one of the most important ones. Look after yourself. Eat nutritionally wise, pretty much all healthy foods. Try and steer away from anything man-made, everything out of the ground, and just really get lots of sleep, rest, make sure you recover, and just put lots of effort in. Number 4, cross-training. Really helps all your running, whether it be yoga, high-intensity training, weightlifting. There's so much to do now, it all helps every kind of running that you do. Whether it be hill running, yoga really helps stretch out, especially as you get a bit older, you need to really stretch. So all kinds of cross-training really, really helps. Number 5, really, really big one, confidence. Confidence is such a big thing for every runner. To really work on, going out in the weather, read all that information, work on your health and your food, all that cross-training, and it all leads up to all your confidence. That will lead you to race day, not having any nerves or anxiety. So just work on it as much as you can. Thank you.